What was it she said? Oops, I did it again. That's right. I installed another rubber kit in a fairly new looking backflow. I didn't flip any of the elastomers, those little rubber discs right here. The reason why we don't do that in every situation is because we don't want to call back. If we repair one part of the backflow and then another part of it fails another test, they're going to call us back and ask us why we didn't fix the backflow. We're not flipping elastomers. We're replacing it because that's the sure thing. We don't have to worry about this becoming a problem again for us or for the customer. Remember, this is a water safety device. We don't want it failing. Now that we've got the new rubber kit installed, let's go ahead and test this backflow. We'll start by flushing all of the test cocks, by leaving that one wide open. Hard doing this single-handedly. Let me go grab my meta glasses. Let's try that hands-free. We'll go ahead and open up each one of these test cocks to flush them out. We don't want any debris getting into our test equipment. That thing's not cheap. We'll go ahead and connect our high hose to test cock 2, our low hose to test cock 3. Go ahead and make sure all of our dials are closed. We'll slowly open test cock 2. If we open that too fast, we can cause the relief valve to open. We don't want that to happen just yet. Let's go ahead and set up our gauge. We're all set here. I already closed the number 2. Let's start by testing the relief valve. We'll open up this dial one full turn. We've cracked the low. We're watching the needle go down. What we're waiting for is this relief valve to let water out, and it just did at 3.7 psi, because in between each one of those tick marks is the odd number, and that's when it opens. So we'll close that. That's 3.7 psi. The relief valve needs to open at 2 psi or higher to pass the test, and as you can see, it passed it. Next thing we're going to check is back pressure against check 2. We'll go ahead and get this on there. I flushed it. I don't know if I explained that. I did flush this line before doing that. What we're waiting for, we'll reset the gauge here. I misspoke there. I didn't reset the gauge. I refilled the zone. Now we can check to see if, by opening this, if anything happened on the gauge. It did not drop, so back pressure held tight. We're going to go ahead and check the differential across check 1, and that's going to be 7.5 psi. In this particular case, anything higher than a 6.7 would have passed that test. We'll go ahead and close all of these so that we can check the differential across check 2. Now I could have opened one of those gauges there so that this doesn't spray water all over me. That's okay. Go ahead, make sure all of our dials are closed, and then we'll open up these 2 test cocks. Open up the high, open up the low, close the high, close the low. The differential across check 2 is 2.8 psi. It passes. The test on check valve 2 passes because it holds more than 1 psi differential across the check valve. Now, I'm going to redo that test and write all of the numbers down on a piece of paper so that I can submit that to the purveyor. The repair worked, the test passed, we're good to go. On to the next one. I intentionally skipped the step in that testing. I did do the step in the actual testing I did after the video. I want you to let me know in the comments below, which step did I skip?